Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the sixth part of What If Deku Was a Magical Girl Mascot, Quirk, Magical Girl Mascot. The author of this great fanfic is Emma. I will leave links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 6, Leapfrog. Everything was black for Izuku, then suddenly he appeared midair with water below him. He fell into the water. That was when he saw a shark man swimming towards him. Oh no! He mentally cried out. Izuku! What's wrong? Called out Inko. Before he could answer, a figure swam in and kicked the shark man like it was nothing. Had Izuku been able to breathe, he would breathe a sigh of relief, as the person who saved him was Tsuyu. She grabbed him with her lunge and she swam to the surface. She placed him on a boat. Before slamming Mineta into the deck hard, and she climbed onto the deck. "Thank you, Azui," said Izuku. "I told you to call me Tsu," said Tsuyu. Izuku nodded. "Hey, can you hold on a second?" said Izuku. Tsuyu and Mineta looked at each other, then Tsuyu remembered he mentioned telepathy. "What happened?" asked Inko. "It was a warp quirk and I think we got scattered throughout the USJ," thought Izuku. "Oh no," thought Inko. "You guys alright?" he thought. "I'm fine," replied Achiko. "Ida actually grabbed and ran out of the area with me and Sato, so I'm still at the entrance. Shoji also saved Mina and Siro. 13 is also with us. I'm with Shitty Hair in an area with collapsed buildings," explained Katsuki. "Which one's Shitty Hair?" asked Achiko. "Guy with shark teeth, red hair," muttered Katsuki. "Oh, Kirishima," relazied Achiko. "Are you with someone, Deku?" asked Katsuki. "Yeah," replied Izuku, "I'm with two others." "Good, because we all know what you have to do," responded Katsuki. Izuku looked over the side of the ship and saw a lot of villains. There was no other choice, he needed to bond with someone. "Who are you with?" asked Achiko. "I'm with Mineta," explained Izuku. "Bond with him," growled Katsuki. "Kaken!" cried Izuku. "If any in class deserves to get hit with the side effect, it's that perv," yelled Katsuki, "so bond with him." "I don't think that's a good idea," pointed out Achiko. "Why the fuck not?" replied Katsuki. "Because if he bonds with Deku, then we'll hear his thoughts whenever he opens up telepathy," said Achiko. "Damn you and your logic," muttered Katsuki. "You mentioned someone else is with you, right?" asked Inko. "Yes, Azui," explained Izuku. "Wait, you're with a girl, and you brought up Grapist first." "What the fuck, Deku?" mentally muttered Katsuki. "Ask Azui," said Achiko. "And if she says no, convince him and don't tell him about the side effect." Got Katsuki. Izuku sighed. "Tsu," sighed Izuku, but added mentally, "That's weird to say." "What?" asked Inko. "Sorry," thought Izuku. "What is it?" asked Tsuyu. "I don't know if you want to do this. I mean, if you say yes, you'll be stuck for the rest of your life or my life, even if it's just mentally, said Izuku. "You think we should bond?" sighed Tsuyu. Izuku nodded. "I don't know how long it will be until the pros come," said Izuku. "Even if my mom is calling the school, we need as much power as we can get." "I'll do it," said Tsuyu. "Really?" asked Izuku. Tsuyu nodded. Admittingly, she wasn't that interested in doing this. However, if it gave her a power boost while they were surrounded by villains and give her classmate a copy of her quirk in an area where water was everywhere, then she'll go along with it. Desperate times called for desperate measures. "Okay," said Izuku. He turned into his animal form. "Wait," said Tsuyu. I can only make bonds in my animal form. Said Izuku, also I can only use my quirks in human form. Tsuyu nodded. Izuku created a light from the gem on his forehead. It moved to Tsuyu. Grab it, said Izuku. Tsuyu nodded and she grabbed the light. When she did, a dark green light surrounded her. And she felt a warmth surrounded her body. In that light her outfit changed, while the top remained somewhat the same. Green with black and yellow stripes, her boots, which resembled frog's feet, were also pretty much the same, but now knee-high instead of thigh-high. Her gloves were the one thing that was the same. Everything else was different. Instead of long selves, they were now short and resembled petal of a water lily. She also had a skirt that resembled a lily pad. In her hair was a water lily-shaped decoration, and in her hair were spring green streaks. The dark green gem was a part of her water lily hair decoration. Also, the gem on Izuku's forehead was now joined by a dark green shimmer along with the 3 other colors. Really? Asked Tsuyu. I have no control over what the outfits look like, said Izuku as he turned back human. I think you look much better in your new costume, said Mineta, given the thumb up. She began to whack him with her tongue multiple times with such precision. I get what you mean by getting stronger, said Tsuyu. My tongue is much faster. Izuku just nodded with a sweat drop. I'm on hold as someone is getting Principal Nizu. Inko's voice called out to the telepathic message. What? Said Tsuyu. Telepathic bond, remember, thought Izuku. Oh right, thought Tsuyu. I should be able to talk to him in a minute, thought Inko, hopefully. Back at school, the principal named Nizu was talking with the teacher while making tea. Oh no, when tea's involved you won't stop talking, thought the thin teacher. However, before anything could be said, the dominatrix teacher ran in. Nizu. Mrs. Midoriya is on the phone, she explained. She says that something is happening at the USJ, and it's an emergency. Principal Nizu froze when she said that. He knew that she was connected to her son and his partner's telepathy. The thin teacher paled and then ran out of the room as quickly as he can. Remember, Mrs. Midoriya has a telepathic bond with her son, and she's calling now. Then that means the class is in danger, said Nizu. The dominatrix teacher nodded. At the entrance of the USJ, 13 breathed a sigh of relief as Achiko had relayed her the information that she got. 11 students are accounted, 13 said. The 6 with them, and the other 5. I'm on the phone now with Principal Nizu now, Inko called out with the telepathy. Really? Asked Achiko. About time, called out Katsuki. All Might has already left and heading towards the school now, explained Inko. All Might's coming, said Achiko in a quiet tone so that amorphous cloud wouldn't hear. 13 nodded, however they were worried for some reason. 13, what's wrong? Asked Ida. It's nothing, said 13, but you need to stand back. He can still scatter you. Are you sure? Asked Sato. 13 nodded. Hey Deku. Are you having an easy time too? Asked Katsuki. Back in the boat with Izuku, Tsuyu, and Mineta. No, we're trying to strategize, thought Izuku. Seriously? Unless you're in the fire area with a ton of fire quirks, I don't see what the problem is, muttered Katsuki. We're in the flood zone with a bunch of villains with water-based quirks, explained Tsuyu. Oh, fuck, muttered Katsuki. Wait, you're in the flood zone? Asked Inko. We're in a boat, explained Tsuyu. Okay, responded Inko. That was when it suddenly hit Izuku. Wait. I don't think they know about our quirks, said Izuku. What? Asked Mineta. You're right. Said Tsuyu, if they knew I was a fraud, that they would have sent me to the fire area. Izuku nodded. They would have sent me completely alone so I wouldn't be able to make any new bonds. Said Izuku, how does your quirk work? Well, I can do anything a frog can do. I have a long tongue, I can jump really high, cling to walls, swim really fast, I have a toxic mucus but it only stings and some stuff with my stomach that I don't really want to talk about. Said Tsuyu. Well, I have all that now, along with Ochiko's quirk which let me cancel out the gravity if I touch something with pads on my fingers when I activate it. I have Kaken's which gives me explosive sweat from my palms and my mom's which a very minor telekinesis quirk that lets me pull small objects. Explained Izuku. The two looked at Mineta. What are you seriously considering fighting? Asked Mineta. Even if All Might is coming. Said Tsuyu, we probably won't be the first one he rescues. Mineta sighed as he took off one of his hair balls off his head. I can take them off and whatever I stick to them stick right there. Said Mineta. Both of them stared at him. How did he pass the entrance exam? Thought Tsuyu. Maybe rescue points. Thought Izuku. Both of them heard a snort from Katsuki. It's rude that you're leaving me out. Cried Mineta, and why do we have to fight back? You said yourself All Might is coming, he should be here soon and save everyone. Are you sure you should be going to UA? Asked Tsuyu. We're a bunch of teenagers going up against actual villains. Cried Mineta, of course I'm scared. We're going to get out of here. Said Izuku looking right at him, everything's going to be fine. That was when one of the villain attacked the boat they were on. You just jinxed us. Yelled Mineta. I told Nizu everything I could, don't worry the rest of the teacher's coming. Assured Inko thought she didn't know about the ship. The teachers are coming. Said Izuku. What good is All Might and the teachers coming if they don't show up in time? Cried Mineta, we barely have any time for this. We're going to do too. He counted to cry and cry about how they were all going to die. You know. I have a theory. Said Tsuyu. What? Said Izuku. You said that my quirk is more powerful. Said Tsuyu. Izuku nodded. With Kaken she explode any part of her body, Ochiko doesn't need to touch things to turn off their gravity and my mom's telekinesis is much more powerful. Explained Izuku. Then that means all of my abilities have been enhanced. Said Tsuyu. Izuku nodded. Tsuyu slapped Mineta multiple times with her tongue to calm him down. I have an idea to get us out of here. Said Tsuyu. What can get us out of here? Cried Mineta. She grabbed him with her tongue. She looked at Izuku who knew what to do. He turned into animal form. She held onto her stuffed animal like classmate and she jumped. The villains saw her jump and saw that she seemed to be out of range for their attacks. Seriously? Yelled one of them, they just run. That's so anticlimactic. A villain with a skull mask sighed. We'll get them later. He told the others. Meanwhile they made completely to dry land. That had to twice as far as I normally jump. Admitted Tsuyu as she slammed Mineta to the ground. She let go of Izuku who turned back to his human form. They turned to the central plaza where Aizawa was still fighting many of the villains. It will be hard to get to the entrance from here with the fight going on there. Said Izuku. Tsuyu nodded. What are we going to do? Thought Izuku. I don't know, but the fact you're thinking it means you want the others' help. Thought Tsuyu. I'm busy kicking these fuckers' asses so don't ask me. Thought Katsuki, and I bet you two did the same. Totally. Replied Izuku. You ran. Thought Katsuki. We ran. Sighed Izuku. The boat we were on was sinking and it was the only way. Pointed out Tsuyu, besides the power boosted my jumping. Oh, did you try your wand yet? Asked Ochiko. Now's not a good time to try the wand. pointed out Inko, unless she has to use it. She's right, agreed Izuku. At the entrance, 13 had started to suck the amorphous cloud using their quirk. The amorphous cloud had a plan to take care of 13. However, suddenly the doors opened up. And a certain very muscular figure had come through the doors. It was All Might. Even from their spot, Izuku, Tsuyu and Mineta saw this. "You have nothing to worry about," said All Might, looking pissed, "because I am here." "All Might's here," called out Achiko. "Fuck yeah," called out Katsuki. "Thank goodness." Inko, breathing a sigh of relief. Although he was somewhat far away, Izuku could see All Might's face. "He's not smiling," said Izuku. "What?" asked Mineta. "When I was little, I always noticed something about All Might. Whenever he saved someone, he did it with a smile. That's one of the reasons why I admired him so much, because he could reassure everyone with a smile that it would be alright," said Izuku. "But he's not smiling. He's angry," said Tsuyu. Mineta nodded. The amorphous cloud looked at All Might. "So you actually made it," said the amorphous cloud. In the main plaza, man with light blue hair covered in hands. He smiled under the hand over his face. "So, All Might is here," he said. He looked towards what could only be described as a monster. "So looks like he was just a little late," said the man, "but still it means that our plan will come to fruition." The man who was clearly the leader had a plan to take of All Might. Because that monster wasn't just someone with a quirk that made him like, but rather something else, something that go toe to toe with the world's strongest hero. And things were about to get more complicated from there. That will be it for this part. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 7. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.